Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Heaven on Earth Astrology. I'm Michael, the Leo Mystic, and this is where we observe the rhythm of the heavens to speak the language of the soul. This is the astrological forecast for the 14th of November until the 20th, meaning this is the last week of Scorpio. Wow. And I'm gonna tell even more, like Venus and Mercury are about to leave Scorpio on Wednesday. So, less Scorpio energy, more Sag energy. Yes, very welcome. How has the full moon eclipse been for you? I know some people had the craziest of times, like myself. Jesus, I'm glad I survived. And some people had the best of times, and I hope that was you. Truly, this is so different for everyone. Uranus is involved, and what can I say? That's just, and it's an eclipse. It's the most unpredictable time of the year, and it's very time shifting. It's very shape shifting, and it is transformative in a scorpionic time. So, this week, Sun opposite Uranus is lessening. Uranus square Saturn starts to lessen over the months. And Sun square Saturn starts to lessen. And all the Sagittarian energy coming up. So you could say things are brightening up. Yeah, that's maybe true, but the thing is that right now is when we start seeing where the pieces were shattered, or what happened. We start to realize what has happened. Now, the beautiful thing is that Mercury and Venus in Scorpio have been trining Neptune, which is pretty sweet, on Monday, right now, as we're speaking, by the way. And the moon is in Cancer, making a grand trine between all of them. And still, also Mercury and Venus sextile Pluto. So chances are that there is some sort of healing that has occurred, a certain transformative process where you've gone through, and now we're able to see the therapist, make the change that you were hoping for, or had that cleansing bath that was so long awaited for. Just a cleansing moment. A grand trine in water is just always something washing away. And the sextile over to Pluto right now, too, with Mercury and Venus, it makes it very experiential. Like experiential, as in not experimental, but experiential at a physical body. Interesting. Just got a tattoo, so just realized that right now. So that's interesting. So then, yes, the energy is lightening up, and now something that's coming up, and what I think it is so crucial to talk about, is the last quarter square of the moon in Leo over to the sun in Scorpio. And that's a key moment here. Yes, on Tuesday and on Wednesday, especially on Tuesday, moon in Leo is kind of getting some hits. So, I've been talking to you about the energy lighting up and just, softening, and just the unpredictability that goes not away, but just softens on us. But obviously Moon in Leo is going to square Uranus, and it's going to opposite Saturn, right? So, and squaring the nodes, all those things. So there is some challenge, but it is not as chronic as Saturn square Uranus, for instance. It's very acute, just the very small. But on Wednesday, the moon in Leo opposing Saturn is gonna be, squaring the sun in Scorpio, which is trining over to Jupiter first and foremost. So the last quarter square is about humbling ourselves, right? The moon is in Leo, so we're gonna be like drama but in a positive way, taking the stage and feeling ready to play and give our heart and create. And the last quarter square to the sun in Scorpio kind of brings that intense energy to it. So we're going to be doing it for sure. And at the same time, this is a chance for us to be asking the question in a scorpionic way about that Leoness, about something that we have to let go. The moon is always something that we attach to, hold on to, see ourselves as it is the reflection of the sun, sun's light. So it is an old light, and it is definitely something that we can always use as a talent, right? But it's also something that we have to transform, especially now with the sun in Scorpio. So this is about, what I'm seeing this is about is truly our biggest authentic selves, right? And to bring it into service of society, into service of the world, into service of your friends and family, right? To be of service with a talent of creativity, your authentic self, right? And what is that authentic self is going to be questioned. It's the last quarter square to the sun in Scorpio. It's also in conjuncting Neptune, interestingly. So that is either going to be increasing the delusional God complex of like, I am the best, right? And I am already doing what I'm doing. So it's kind of annoying in that sense. But I am inviting you to question, not doubt, question the authenticity that you have, the Leoness, as in your leadership. What are you using it for? We're going to be asking that question anyway, right? Towards other people mostly, since the moon, right, in Leo is quite attached to its ego, but Mars in Gemini squaring over to Neptune gives us an opportunity to ask that question to God, ask that question to Source. It's not really like, obviously Mars square Neptune thinks it can do anything, and Moon in Leo square Sun in Scorpio and in conjunct Neptune is God complex and Savior complex and just delusional about what it is possible. Well, what is possible and what it is capable of doing. So we got to watch out for that. Well, what are we capable of doing? And the truth is a very fucking lie, but it's mostly not what you think, right? You can. So, I mean, yes, but I mean, just like the story that you've been telling yourself for years is what I'm talking about. You know, all the things that you think you are or you can, that in a way has to be let go of in order for a new version to be born and to realize, because it's Sun in Scorpio and Neptune that are making an aspect, and those are forces that are beyond our control, that are humbling us down. Moon in Leo, last quarter square to the Sun, and especially in conjunct Neptune, is a humbling down process of the ego. So that's why I say it's not what you think that you know, those things that you're capable of. It's just a lot more, and especially not that what you think. So to be really aware of that and to be really question just the status quo too. of the false prophet, of those people questioning you, or those people who are saying like, hey, I am the savior here. I think we might see that. I think we might see right now, like, this is the aspect. I know Kai Pacha has been talking about it, but I think this inconjunct Neptune and the last quarter square over to Sun in Scorpio, that is a full savior complex and a full like false prophet kind of energy. And I think it might appear now this week. So we got to pay attention to that, but not only just on the world stage, but just in yourself. And to question that, to question also, what is power and how have I been using it and how can I use it even more and better? What can I do to ignite that power? And obviously the Kundalini force. So, powerful time to do Kundalini yoga. But as I said, it is quite a challenging aspect, even though it's just a moon. It's not, it's not the challenges that we've been seeing for the last couple of months, although they're technically still there. And we're integrating all those bits and pieces. But, Sun is at least trining Jupiter. Venus is coming into Sag on Thursday, on Wednesday, Mercury on Thursday. So by the end of the week, we're going to have this optimistic point of view. We're going to be having hope and are seeking meaning behind it all, are trying to theorize and learn about what we have learned these last couple of weeks. And that's going to speed up the process. It's going to speed up the process of processing everything that has been processed. Okay, well, that's a lot of process, man. But we're still in Scorpio season, so it's not necessarily. I think when the Sun hits Sagittarius is when really. We're going to be able to write the things down and do something with it and understand it, even though Mars is still squaring Neptune, and acting on it is not the way. We're going to find ourselves in deceit and delusion, but at least right now we can have a vision of the future and start making a plan and start thinking about our goals for the next months and years and reflect on that. Yeah, but Mars retrograde until January. These are not the times to make the biggest things happen unless you consider them really well, right? It's not about stopping. It's just a little bit harder to make shit happen truly. So it's never a time to stop doing something. It's just be aware of it. And I think that would be the most important thing to talk about this week. So overall, I think quite optimistic, but those are the times right now when we look back and say, what the fuck just happened and how can we do something with it? And I think that's a perfect time to do this week. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you liked this video. If so, hit the like button, leave me a comment, and check out the Heaven on Earth community where we are teaching people how to live cyclically with the planets and Mother Nature to claim back our organic biorhythm, but also just heaven on earth, man, and peace restored. Go check it out. Much love. See you next week. Bye-bye.